This is the Premier Garden Show. And here is your host, Anthony Faulkner.
Welcome to the Premier Garden Show, sponsored by Echo Tools. I am in the Super Garden Champions Garden, and it is just a showstopper. I think before I move on to the rest of the guys, I think I brought it up with Debbie live. It has very Chelsea feel to it. It just has that vibe of a garden. So I suppose we go to episode 1. Owen. Episode 1. Loved your glass wall. Absolutely loved it. I love the whole feel of your garden even. And the planting was special. I think it was really good. But that wall was, and the pergola, the orange, black. The black always works. Yeah. Has to, it pops. So how did you feel after creating your garden?
I mean, it was a lot of work. I was delighted when it was finished. It was a bit scary there, whether at the last day whether it was going to get done or not. But yeah, I mean, like, I got a bit emotional at the end because like it's so much work goes into it, and then you turn around and see it and it looks great, and you're like just over the moon. And
have you taken that from the garden since? Have you taken, I suppose, all the advice on?
Yeah,
from
I mean,
whole judges and
you know,
like
it's
that.
It's hard hearing criticism, but I mean, look, it's good. You know, they're a trained eye, so I mean, I've tried and incorporate everything they said to me: more colour, more beds, you know, stuff like that, and future endeavours, I suppose. So
yeah, I think it's always important. I think even when I was on it 8 years ago, it's not easy when it's fresh.
Yeah,
it takes a while to kind of adjust it and then kind of get back to base, and then you look back and you go. But you should never doubt yourself and what you could have done different, because you've given a family an absolutely lovely space, so hats off to that. So, and especially you're totally novice.
Yeah.
So you have a good career in it, I have to say that, so well done in your garden. Where do we go next? Oh,
the wall.
That wall gave me nightmares, and it'll still give me nightmares, because I think if I ever got that wall, I think I would have just got down on the ground and cried. But what you've done with that wall, because there's not much you could have done with it. So I suppose, where did the inspiration come then for when you decided you were going to do a mural on your wall?
Mural is something in my wish list for my own garden. But we visited a museum in Egypt in a family holiday, and it was a children's museum. It was a civilization museum, and it was setting the scene. Every room had a backdrop, and then it was tied in with the farming or the rivers or the pyramids and all those things in Egypt, and I love that idea. And then we came back, and that's when I applied for Super Garden, and there was a wall in the picture. I thought, why not do a mural? Yeah, it's time to get the wish list checked off.
But it blends the planting in so well.
Yes, because I didn't want to go with any details, too much detail, because when you start drawing details in one place, you'll have to get it everywhere. That's what the artist was saying. So we thought we'll keep it simple, but pull it all in together. And
it was also nice to see another stream in a super garden, because we don't see many streams in super garden. We had one last year, I think, we had a bit of a pond, but you kind of burned it down. So I suppose, looking back then, would you have done it any way different?
No, I liked it the way it is. More plants is what I would actually bring. But
in another, give or take a year's time, 12 months time,
it's going to all grow and mature well.
And it will look probably like something in the Cummer Mount or the Gunnermore Mountains, really.
Yeah.
So where did we go? To the winner. So Sean, I think when I saw your garden straight away, I think knowing who your father was, I saw the inspiration straight away in you, because your father has a very creative mind when it comes to his designs. He's up there with the best. If I was to kind of say, have you done it better than his design? It's a different year, but I do think your garden is a garden that would literally fit in the Chelsea Flower Show. So hats off to that.
Thanks a lot.
So I briefly talked to your father when I think it was Wednesday. He did touch on this was your third design or your third attempt. He did mention you had a bold attempt. So I'm glad you settled on this attempt. So I suppose, where did the whole inspiration come then for this? Because it is stunning.
Well, it was a lot from Super Garden, just popping in, but there was a lot of changes. We flipped the whole thing. Like, the pergola used to be that side, The seating roof used to be this side, but it's just from the way people would see it. Walking in, walking around, this is probably the best way to sit it in, best angle for it.
And you also changed your paving from the original.
Yeah. One thing I didn't like in Ashburn was not only was the circle it was just square slabs, wasn't any design to it. We changed that. We got a lad in to do a whole custom circle there, and then we used this dust, this real fine dust. It was way too fine. It was, when you're walking, it would stick to the bottom of your shoes and go everywhere. And instead of doing that, I did little circles that come out of...
Very creative.
Yeah, and flow point.
Very creative. It shows, I think I said it the other night, you have a very creative mind. And, like, the standard you set yourself here, it's going to be hard to follow.
Well, they were just pure fluke, like, when we were cutting them out. We just seen them slabs.
But that takes, you know what I mean, that's not something, that takes a creative mind to spot that. Because other people would have just cut them and then just thrown them as waste. So you did use a lot of reusable materials. And your planting is stunning. So, and then the water feature, can you talk us through a little bit about that? Where did the idea come for that? Because that is something I haven't seen before.
Well, I was left with kind of limited space, and I wanted to use a water feature somewhere because we're near a busy road. It'd be very loud. So we were kind of limited in space. So the idea came from the whole mesh thing and having planting underneath. Because if we didn't do that, then the water feature would be bigger and there'd be less space to sit and relax.
Am I right to think your father, I think, had a water plate in his garden going back?
Yeah. He did.
Yeah, so, and I have one at home too, so I have to try and soften my one. Sometimes they're very loud, but that's very soft.
Yeah, that's great.
And thing. So how have you found the whole experience since? I know you've known you've won it with a long time. How have you kept it a secret, and how have you got on since you won it?
The close family would have known. Obviously, there was people there at the announcement. But I tried to keep it a secret as best I could. Didn't post anything online or anything like that. Didn't say anything.
Yeah, and how do you think overall then the transformation from your garden in Ashburn to here do you think you have learned from little bits and added little bits to this one?
Yeah, there was a few bits, like the big black wall. I thought it was very bland in Ashburn, so we could play around with a few more stuff here. I thought it turned out very well, more natural kind of look to it. And
the family love their garden?
Yeah, they still look after it.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, it's still all bright
green.
Yeah,
so look, thanks and well done. Congrats.
Hello.
Quickly. Fantastic. From someone, the planting. You have a very keen, good eye for planting. So well done on that.
Thank
so
you.
How did you get, I suppose, the inspiration?
I like the tropical look and feel, so I've got a list on my phone of all the tropical plants that I like from other people's gardens, looking through Instagram, going through the RHS book, picking out stuff, and then I probably got 80% of the planting down, and then I went to Garden World Nurseries, spent 3-4 hours driving around going, that, and that, and that was how it came to pass.
And how do you think, would you have changed anything in your garden?
No, I'm happy with how it went. I'm pretty pleased.
I was one of your fans, I have to say. I love your garden. And the standard this year was very high.
So good.
And every year it just gets higher and higher, the standard, to be honest. So next year it's going to have to go up another bar.
How can it? How can you beat this one?
as the judges said earlier on, they've already picked their 5, so God love them.
Yeah,
they have hard acts to follow. And then we go,
the man himself, Adrian.
Well, Adrian.
There you go.
My PA.
Yes, your PA.
You're my new PA.
Exactly.
You got very emotional, first of all, in your garden at the end, and I think we all got emotional watching it. How did you find the whole experience? I loved your backdrop on your walls.
Yeah.
Your willow.
Yeah.
Hats off to that, because you could have painted it, so that worked very well.
Yeah. I think. Look, I mean, the the whole application process of going into Super Garden, like Sean and like Owen and like Jan and Emily, you're putting yourself out there, you're putting designs, in for proof testing and such like with Kerry and the judging. And as they say, it's really looking at that inspiration. You look at Sean's garden here, and the work he's done here, with regards to his different use of materials and such like, and how he's used them. And I think that's what the programme's looking to try and do. And I suppose when we were doing the garden in Ashbourne, we really got involved in the client. Most of us had handicapped or special needs sort of clients. So it was really a case of adapting that design to meet their needs, more so than it was trying to create a super garden. So I really got involved, I suppose, with Migley, with her special needs. And that's really what drove me, to do what I did in the programme. And that's why I suppose I was emotional at the end, because I felt satisfied that I delivered something for her personally, rather than something for the programme.
Yeah, and it's very easy for them to get around. You can see that.
Very much.
And they love it, I assume.
Yeah.
And would you have done anything? Is there anything in your head going around? I know when I was on in 2018, I did go back in my own head and thinking, what should I have done?
Yeah, because I was talking to Debbie. Debbie was 2000
last year.
So yeah, because we have to think
the reigning champ.
We have to think where we are.
She was.
So Debbie was last year's sort of champion, and looking at Sean's cedar roof. And,
it's lovely.
Probably taking the turf out and putting in a cedar lawn or putting in a chamomile lawn may have been better in hindsight. So those are the sort of things that I look at now and think, do you know what, I may have changed that design, but that's probably the only thing I would have changed, because they were very small gardens, so very limited what you can do and what you can't do.
Yeah, look, well done, and well done to everyone. I'm absolutely thrilled. You brought me all on a journey. Me and Debbie enjoyed looking in at your gardens, and look, I wish you all the best for the future. And no way you will always go on to bigger things. I know that for a few things. So best of luck. All right. Thanks, lads.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Premier Garden Show, and we will see you in the next episode. Be sure to like, share and subscribe, and join all our social media.
At Echo, we understand that the toughest outdoor jobs demand the toughest tools. Echo chainsaws deliver performance, reliability and durability. Echo brush cutters are well balanced for effortless control. Echo blowers have power beyond belief. Echo hedge trimmers are built to last and are easy to handle. Using the experience of over 75 years in the industry, Echo now have two ranges of battery tools, 40-volt Garden Plus for the homeowner and a 56-volt professional battery series. Garden Plus tools are the lightest weight in our product lineup, designed to feel instinctive and comfortable in your hands. Whether you're trimming, cutting, pruning or mowing, just connect, power on and transform your outdoor space into something wonderful. You already know that battery tools offer low noise, zero emissions and less maintenance. But what if they could also rival the power of your professional petrol tools? Meet the Echo 56-volt Professional Battery Series, Echo's premium battery lineup, built for professionals. Echo produce professional quality products that meet the demands of the people who use them. Find your local dealer now at ecotools.ie. Echo, power you can depend on.